people here that family members have died and they had to take responsibility for burying them, and it cost them everything they had. We've had people that their houses went into foreclosure for one reason or another, losing their job, depleting their bank accounts. And they're not bad people. They don't have problems with alcohol or drugs. And I'm one of them people. I've had a lot of jobs in my life, done a lot of things, experienced a lot of things, thought I was doing the right thing, and because of a few things that were beyond my control, this is where I am. And the only thing I could say is anyone could become homeless. Anyone. 2 years ago, if you told me I'd be in the situation I was in right now, I'd have called you a liar. You lose the vital things in your life, like your basic bank account and your transportation, it's hard to dig out of the hole. And they offer services here that, help us all. And with the way the economy is, it's hard to find work. And then you put in the factors like your age, like my age. When I turned 50, that was it. I mean, I'm thankful for the facilities that I have here. I have a warm bed for the time being, and they expect you to go through a process and everything, and it's really good. They're good at what they do here up in the office. Like I said before, anyone can become homeless. About 10 years after my dad passed away, say about 2000, my mother got diagnosed with dementia. And they deemed her incompetent. I had to get executorship. So when I was at work one day, the banks got her, because the house was still in her name, they got her to get a reverse mortgage on the house in her name, even though they had the medical facilities deemed her incompetent. And basically, after she passed away in 1999, or 2009 rather, I'm sorry, everything built up. I had $40,000. And that didn't last very long, trying to pay the bills and everything. So the house went in foreclosure. I lost the house. I lost my cats I had that we had for 7 years. I had 4 cats and a dog. And I tried committing suicide. And I tried going where I was told to go, and this is where I ended up. I was at a psychological evaluation because of my suicide attempt. They evaluated me for about 6 weeks. Only the basic thing is like anyone can become homeless. It's a quick process, and they say when you fall hard and fast, and it's true. It's absolutely true.
My childhood was pretty good. I can't complain. I was 12 when I first came here. I went to foster care when I was in 16. The reason that I'm homeless is by choice because, my foster parents was real good to me. And, I really didn't learn how to, like, certain things like job interviews and, stuff like that because I was always spoiled. So when I turned 18, I just left and, I came down here. I had went to Tri-C, and it was like, well, if you pass this practice test, you just go ahead and take your GED. So I passed the practice test, and the following month they gave me the GED, and I passed that too. It's not an easy trip. It's not really fun being down here. I smile a lot, I laugh a lot, and I try to make others laugh. But really, how I really feel, I don't like this place. Never did. But like I said, it's a learning ground. Like it's not the prettiest place, but it's the most humbling experience that I've ever had to endure.
Chicago, moved to Cleveland. I worked in factories for 20 years, a box plants for 20 years. I was in the homeless shelter because the plant I worked at closed down, and the whole plant closed down. When you go to fill out an application, you know, people ask you where you stay. Well, I just lie and tell them I give them my son's address. He asked me many times, "Will you come live with me?" No, child, I don't. And it's kind of hard because they got a few rules. But if you live in any place, you're gonna have rules. You have to be in at a certain time. When you're in a community, you have to be in there at a certain time. But then it's not jail. You can always, if you don't like what's going on, you can always leave. After living here, and I always had somebody around me, and I was never alone. I like being alone. This ain't the worst place in the world. You can tell anybody, and they'll tell you. Anybody that's been to jail will tell you this is not bad, because you always had the free will. You can leave.
Anyone can become homeless.
It's the most humbling experience that I've ever had to endure.
Because you always had the free will. You can leave.